Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start going through a couple of slides, and we can go from there. Like I say, I do have Jordan here with me, and Jordan is more than happy to help with questions that do come through. As a panelist, Jordan can see those and can see all of the chat. And if it's something that we can answer towards the end, we will have an open discussion and question and answer session towards the end of the webinar. So essentially what this webinar is about is I want to try and help you be able to help other people and to help your business grow. So it's more than just making money with floor plans, because that's what a business is designed to do, but it's more of making more marketing material readily available for the real estate market. And here in Finland and Scandinavia, which is where this company originates from, a floor plan is on about 99% of all listings. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this the same within the United States. So it would be important to us to get that done. There's a lot of benefits that come with floor plans. There's a lot of benefits from you presenting floor plans and selling these floor plans towards your customers. And all around it helps in a huge circle, both customers, yourself, and the customers beyond your customers. So the buyers of the properties, etc. So I'll move on to the next slide and we can get right into it. So what's in it for the photographers? So our most active photographers, they take between 20 and 60 scans a month. And what they've been able to do is they've been able to increase their monthly profits by about $1,000 to $3,000 with just a tiny amount of extra work. I'm sure you all know this is a very easy tool to use. It's just simple recording and uploading. And from that, what we're able to do is we're able to either minimize time spent through traditional methods of floor plans, which are typically sketch, graph, paper, and then either doing it yourself on CAD or uploading that to another third party, which would then produce your floor plans. And typically we see from surveys that we've done ourselves and surveys elsewhere that a floor plan previously used to take around 45 minutes to do. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to drastically reduce that number to about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of the property, of course. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to, of course, activate our customers more and then be able to present you with information that would help you provide more of these floor plans by just giving you facts, figures, and information. So what we would like to do is we would like to see our customers be able to generate more revenue for their business with simple, easy work and hopefully time reducing work to traditional methods. So here on this graph here, this is our active scan growth, should we say. And what we can see is we can see as we started to launch the product, it was slow and steady. And then as soon as it started to take off, you can see a massive amount of growth. Right. Andy, can you not see my screen? Can everyone else see my screen? You just see me. Okay, others can see the screen. Okay, Andy, you've got it. Fantastic. So as we can see, we can actually see here, I know it's going to turn off, unfortunately. This is my first webinar, so I'm not a genius, but I couldn't turn this part off here, but this here is actually the corona. This is where we see lockdown. So what we've seen is the start of coronavirus here, or COVID, around the April, May time, and we had a dramatic rise in floor plan scans. And that's because, of course, people are less likely to go to open homes. People are more than likely sat at home shopping for homes or looking for a place to rent. And we can see that it was going fantastic, and then it dropped because we had the lockdowns and we weren't allowed to either go to work or go outside or do any of that. But following the ease of the lockdowns within the month, we can actually see another dramatic spike. So we can see that floor plans are becoming quite an important feature because it's allowing people to see the property or the flow of the space. Really simple, really easy within a single frame. Now, photographers do a fantastic job with being able to present homes. It's a fantastic tool. And some of your photography is, absolutely, top notch. And I would love to be able to see homes and pictures of my home if I was to sell my home, marketed the way you do it. I think you all do a fantastic job. But some things that photos don't do all of the time is be able to give an idea of perceived space or where the rooms simply would connect to each other. Whereas a floor plan can do all of that in just a single picture frame. So on one simple screen, they can see where everything connects and they can see the flow of the home, and they can judge to see, where the kids' bedrooms are going to be, how big's the kitchen in relation to the dining space. They can see all of that. So that's something that we like to do. So we're seeing exponential growth within the market, both because of COVID and because people are actually starting to understand that a floor plan or a flow plan can really help, you know, market the home, grow the space. But another reason of the growth of the market is because we see that photographers can now use this tool and have the best and fastest speed of capture. Considering traditional methods are, 45 minutes, potentially more. We reduce that by 5 to 10 minutes, which means you can get more done in such a small amount of time. Like I say, it's a valued feature. It's really helping both buyers as well as sellers be able to sell their home by providing better and more marketing data or information towards the potential buyer. It's a new asset to the market. When we first started to dive into the United States, we could see that around 5 to 10% of real estate listings within MLSs, and from the MLS data that we've been able to collect, is that there wasn't very many floor plans being added to listings. Considering we see 98 to 99% of listings here in Scandinavia having floor plans. Now we see that figure dramatically rise to above 20%, actually pushing towards 30% at the moment. So it's been a fantastic growth, and it's been an easy sell. As far as ease of use, like we go back to again, it's just such an easy, simple tool to use. And that's the way we hope to continue to make it, by adding further features that allow for speed of capture as well as ease of use to simply get better. And once again, less access to open homes. So due to the COVID situation, people haven't been able to go and visit homes as much or as easily. So therefore, shopping online has become a huge part of our success. So what I did was, I've been asking a couple of our customers how they've grown, because it's quite good for us to learn so that we can be able to provide, like we say, features and new changes towards our software that simply help photographers, and photographers do more. And I did ask a company called HD Bros. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the company. They are a small marketing photography hub. So they're a small group of photographers, and they take multiple bookings, and then they market homes. And I always wanted to know, why and how they grew so fast and so quickly. And bearing in mind, this company is doing, over 100 scans a month. So when I asked, we've always had a high demand for floor plans by customers. And until we found CubiCasa, we were only able to offer floor plans as part of our Matterport service. We had a bunch of customers who wanted a floor plan but didn't want to pay for the entire 3D service to get those. Since we've been able to offer floor plans as a standalone service, our sales volumes have significantly increased. Now, I'm sure many of you know our relationship with Matterport, and I'm sure that many of you are Matterport users. That some of your customers may have wanted a 2D floor plan beforehand, but you would have had to provide the full 3D scan or done the whole 3D scan, which once again is time consuming and still very expensive. So we are able to kind of fill that void where people are able, wanting to have floor plans for their properties, and you're now able to offer a similar floor plan or similar looking floor plan for a fraction of the price with a fraction of the time taken. So that's one of the reasons that they succeeded and have managed to basically significantly increase their service add-ons. I also asked a smaller, once again, a much smaller company, which is TMRE Photography. And their response was, we upsell floor plans for a relatively affordable price. They never take us more than 8 minutes to do, and therefore, even with small margins, they're still profitable. So we'll dive into some of the figures and some of the pricing, and I've created a few tables within this webinar that shows you kind of varied prices throughout the United States. And of course, they're going to differ from state to state, from city to city, from coast to coast. So I've kind of dived into a little bit more But as you know, as a certified photographer, it costs $24.43, and then you're able to sell those for the price that you choose, whether it's a a stagnant price and it would be for say $60 per floor plan, or whether it would be something based on square footage, depending on how you price it. It's something that takes such a small amount of time that you can basically upsell that floor plan for an affordable price towards your customer. And even with a smaller margin, if you were to dive down into the pricing a little bit more, you're still able to make a profit considering time spent. So, how do our photographers feel? Once again, I asked a couple of our our users, and they said our photographers love CubiCasa. It's easy to use, it's fast, and they don't need extra tools to create high quality floor plans. So, all you need really is a cell phone in your pocket. If you're a Matterport user, you can more than likely use the iPad that you use for that as well. And it's just it's kind of a no investment deal. We don't do any kind of subscription fees or any kind of hidden fees or archiving fees. It's as simple as it gets. You pay for what you use, and it's nice to see that we get some really nice feedback from our customers. And as this picture says, what if I could tell you could produce a floor plan in 5 minutes? Once again, I reached back out to HD Bros and I said, like, how do your photographers feel? And they say, CubiCasa has made a huge impact on our business this year. We're a volume-based photography provider, so speed and efficiency on site is key to our success. We had experimented with a bunch of other apps and techniques for creating floor plans, but they were always time consuming and the quality was never there. With CubiCasa, we can scan a 5,000 square foot home in under 10 minutes, which is exactly what we're looking for. Our customers love the final product and it's been one of the most popular add-on services as well. So what we're trying to show here is, it's such an easy tool to use. I can provide some facts, figures, and info to help you sell them even more. But they're overall a fantastic marketing piece for the real estate industry. So here we can see more diving down into the pricing. So the money that can be made by yourselves. So the average price for a floor plan, from asking our customers, we see that pricing can vary from state to state, and like I say, coast to coast. We see that the average price of floor plans sold by you is between $60 and $99, and sometimes even beyond that. So on average, that would be the pricing. And that means if you were to do 10 floor plans a month at $80, which would be kind of middle ground, you can increase your profits by $555.70. And typically, if a floor plan takes less than 10 minutes, do that 10 times, it's not too bad. So what money can be made? So here's more of a smaller graph, which I can explain. So depending on your pricing and the volumes that you do, you can create, a healthy add-on profit here. And this is actual profit taken out of the, it doesn't account for your time because I'm sure everyone's time, the price for their time is very much different. But if you were to do 10 floor plans at $60, you can earn $355 extra per month. If you were to do 20, you could make yourselves $711 a month. If you do 30, you can make yourself over $1,000. And if you were to go up in prices, of course, the margins go up, considering if you were to do it for $99 and add that to 30 listings per month or 30 photography jobs, you could really increase your profits by $2,237. And like I say, that's with the cost of using the service all out of there, apart from your time. We do have a question from Andy, and Andy says, I'm nervous about doing a scan in front of an agent. Once they see what I'm doing, they may want to do it themselves. Does anyone see this happening? Now, Andy, what I can tell you, so as the sales manager within the company, I can see who's signing up and what type of companies are signing up. So I can see things from real estate agents to home appraisers to insurance appraisers to lots of different things, and photographers. When we look at the percentage of different types of customers, so if we look at the ratio of photographers to agents, like photographers are definitely our biggest customers, like by a landslide. I've tried myself to sell this towards agents and they're simply not that interested. They would rather pass the work on to the photographer while the photographer is on site and doing other things like photography, videography, Matterport tours and drone. So although they could do it themselves, it would be an increased charge for them for just less than $35. But we don't see that much interest from real estate agents actually investing into learning how to use this, as simple as it can be. And, they just don't simply give it a go. David says, I live with an agent and she has no interest in photography or scanning a floor plan. I haven't heard of other agents in my town do not happen. Perhaps 1% of might take the time. And that's the kind of ratios that we're seeing. We are seeing about a 95% photographers, and then the rest of them, 5%, are simply others. So, which would be, a large conglomerate of different types of people within the real estate industry, whether it be agents, appraisers, even home refurbishers. There's quite a lot. We see, and Steve says, we see so many agents, especially the cheap ones, that like to use their iPhone to take the photos. So I wouldn't be surprised if they also do floor plans again. But what I can see is the evidence that we see from signups. It's very, very minimal. And of course, that there is that chance that people would dive into it and learn a little bit more and go into it themselves. But we see on the vast majority that that simply isn't the case. And we don't tell them what we just say is that it's a unique software, and that's why we white label everything. We try to remove our logos from everything. If you do have an iPad, typically the iPad could perhaps look more professional if you are inside this scenario. So instead of pulling out a phone, you could potentially pull out an iPhone. For some reason, it gives out a different perceived idea of the software capabilities. But however, it will be exactly the same. Yeah, so even Kyle says, you tell him it's part of the process and that you have software to use and create when you get home. Okay, David has a fantastic question. A competitor of mine generates floor plans that also have color theme for rooms in the house. Can or will CubiCasa do this? Yes, we can do this. And yes, we will be offering this as well. So things like wet rooms, you would be able to change the color of those, because I do understand that a lot of different floor plan providers are looking to, or customers of ours are looking to have the wet rooms as a blue color. And that seems to be quite a popular option. So yes, this will be able to be done. So it will be something that we would be able to add into the settings page within the web application, so that you can change the things like the whole floor and the whole wall now. But for things like wet rooms, this is something that we can definitely look at releasing. And once again, we will be able to provide a better date and time for that. Is there any differences between using iPad versus iPhone? Not in the terms of the device's capabilities, no. So you will still receive the same results between iPad and iPhone. It's like a visual thing for your customers to see, but there would be no difference. The only thing that you may see is some iPads. So of course the iPad is this big and then the iPhone is this big. Sometimes the screen on certain iPads does not expand to the full extent of the screen. It would stay minimized in a simple kind of iPhone size within the middle of the screen, but it would not affect any scanning. And would we be adding any hardwood flooring? So CubiCasa at the moment is looking to make a huge change. What we're trying to do is we're trying to establish more of data collection in some extent, but that data collection would be something based on what the scan is recognizing. So we can see if it's hardwood, laminate floors, we can see, the different shapes of kitchens, and we would be able to, what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to be able to have the computer systems recognize that. And then we would be able to, if selected as an add-on or as a feature or a kind of a tick box that you would tick, that we would be able to provide that information. So if it was like an L-shaped kitchen, within the home report, what that would be able to do is you would be able to see the shape of the kitchen and the outline. So if it's an aisle kitchen or L shape, we would be able to show that, or if it was islands. But it is something that we may look to add. And as Jordan says, the newer devices, the newer the device, the better. And that's because essentially the hardware is more up to date. As we know, if you all do editing, RAM within a computer while you're doing any kind of video or SSD while doing any kind of video or photo editing. Basically, the new phones have a much greater RAM and a much greater hardware. And I do see that we have got some more questions coming in at question answer, and I'll definitely look to answer those soon. Yes, we will be able to, look to add things like, the colored walls, like you say, we will be looking to add those. Once again, I don't have the best date for that. Our roadmap is quite busy, full of lots of feature requests, but I'll definitely be able to, I can save this chat, which is key. And what we can do is we always have a meeting on Fridays called Feature Fridays, where we look at all of the features that have come through during the week. And then we can present those and add those to the roadmap where we feel, they would be the most beneficial to the majority of our customers. But I can definitely bring that up and see if it is something. So can or will CubiCasa work with a Lidar camera? So this is a big one. So yes, we will. Yes, we are developing that capability to be selected once that device has been fully launched. And yes, it will increase the accuracy, but we're definitely working on that. We have been working with LiDAR cameras for a long time, so we do understand the capabilities. All it takes now is just being able to select that particular piece of hardware during the app and having the app realize the actual phone device that's there so that we can tap into that feature, so we can tap into that piece of technology. So yes, we are working with it, and we will look to launch that as soon as possible. So for the new iPhones, the 12 Pros and the new iPad Pros with the LiDAR there, you would be able to use that, and selected other devices once they do launch. We have been working with another device. We have in Europe, they sell the Huawei phones, and they do have a LiDAR camera. They have had them for about a year and 2 months, and we have been using that device to be able to understand the technology. So moving on to the next slide. So as we can see here with the slides, just as a quick summary, what we can hope to do is, if you are doing 20, let's take middle ground. If you are able to do 20 floor plans in a month or 20 photography shoots and use this as an add-on for about $80 to all of your clients, you're making yourself an extra $1,111. It's a very simple process to do. So here comes some facts. So I've done a lot of fact finding, and I found out a lot of information from either clients, real estate agents, real estate associates, Zillow, lots of different websites that would be able to provide this info. So these are really key facts that I would be able to share with you very soon. And what I can do is I can actually provide this information to you. Both this webinar will be recorded, so you can always come back and look at it. But these are the key facts that you should be telling your real estate agents, because you're going to have some real estate agents that say, no, we don't need that. No, I do not need this piece of marketing. I do not need a floor plan with my listing. But the fact of the matter is, although it's not the real estate agent that needs it, it's maybe the customer on the other end that's working with the real estate agent. Okay. So 93% of buyers say they are more happy to spend time looking at a property with a floor plan. That's 93% of buyers. That's a massive number, especially while things are going more internet based, and everything has to be uploaded to an MLS. More than likely, people have seen a home on an MLS or with a realtor online before they've even visited the home. It's kind of, if you're walking into a home that you've just simply seen a for sale sign outside or a to let sign outside, it's not always going to be the case where you're going to walk in unless it is an open home Saturday or Sunday where you are simply browsing the open homes. So that's a really key thing. We also say that we see that 81% of sellers think a floor plan will help sell their home faster. It may not, it may, but the fact of the matter is the sellers believe that it will. So this is a massive thing as well. So including a floor plan in the marketing campaign has been proven to reduce the time on the market by up to 50%. Once again, this is a really big question, a really big topic. So we can see that it does physically help reduce time on market, which sellers are happy about, the real estate agent is happy about, and the buyer of the home will be happy for finding their new home. Floor plans are actually open 7.5 times more often than maps. And Zillow shows that floor plans are the second most important feature within a listing, according to their click-through ratios and other data. Floor plans, excuse me for a second, I just need to click one thing. Apologies. So floor plans are really useful when considering alterations and layouts. So changing or removing walls or installing additional bathrooms or perhaps just doing a complete overhaul. What it does is that this really helps to make the buyer, or it makes the buyer begin to already have that feeling of ownership. So it basically leads to a higher sale or a higher price sale or a quicker sale. So essentially being able to provide that information to somebody where they can see themselves starting to make alterations it's going to be really quite key. Also, if a buyer is visiting several properties in a day, they may forget which property is which and confuse details of different properties while thinking of them all. So being able to have that floor plan there, it really makes it easier to compare properties, especially if the buyer has something like a printed out version or they can compare to online listings. They will be able to remember where they were in that room in association with the floor plan. So once again, buyers can see how the house works or whether or not they would like to view it at a limited open time. So room layouts, flow, sizes, and other things are all factors that buyers may take into consideration, particularly if they are looking for a family home. So like I said previously, like it's quite important for buyers to recognize if it has perhaps a Jack and Jill bathroom, if they want that to share the bathroom between the two children or however it may be. What they start to do is, once again, they start to look at the ownership of that property, what their life would be like within this property, so that they can assign certain rooms for certain jobs or certain roles within the house. So they can see the full flow. They can see how the house works and if it meets their needs. A floor plan can help buyers visualize where to place old or new furniture as well. So sizes, dimensions, shapes, and layouts of the room is really going to be key if they have their previous property or previous furniture or new furniture while they are looking to explore. A floor plan can increase the perceived space as well. So often buyers miss or forget things that they have seen after inspecting a property. So storage rooms, cupboards, cloakrooms, and a loft or basement can simply just disappear out of mind. It's something that is easily forgettable because you're focusing on the bedroom, how big's the kitchen, where are the kids going to sleep, if you've got pets, are the pets going to go there? Is there a games room? Is there a man cave? Is there something else? Is there walk-in closets? Sometimes you focus on the main things, but you forget about the small handy things in life, like the storage space that you may need. So it can really increase the perceived space by showing these within a simple layout and therefore increase the value of the home that they are looking to buy. Okay, we've got some more questions coming in quickly. So how accurate are the room sizes? So I do have that information, which I will share with you towards the end, but I can do a full rundown about how we actually calculate the room dimensions, how that's all perceived, and then I can show you what the study from our end throughout, hundreds and thousands, or hundreds or thousands of scans, what we've seen is the average through the current scanning techniques. And does the software have or will have the ability to recognize large outdoor living space like a large deck or pool? Peter, you can go ahead and scan outdoor space like large decks or pools. We have been known to draw them in. The scanning software is not designed to scan outdoor spaces, but if there is a large outside living space like decks, balconies, you can add that in there. Further to that, we've just released a new feature that would actually show that dimension within the outside space. So if you do have a large patio that maybe you have a grill there, or you know, whether it be outside furniture, we can actually calculate the dimensions of that space now as well. So yeah, like I say, so that will be there. It's just been released. So it was actually released today or yesterday, late yesterday, judging with the time difference. So that should be starting to pop up within your things. Yeah, so we have people do driveways. If you have perhaps a casita or a guest house or something, just once you've done the main house, just head outside. Just walk. If there's a pool, go ahead and scan it. I can't always guarantee that the pool is going to be there, but if you don't scan it, you won't get it. And if you do scan it, you'll get it pretty much most of the time, unless there was some kind of issue with sun glare within the camera. And as we all know, if there's it's a video, it's a primarily a video. So if it is getting massive amounts of sun glare, then it doesn't capture all of the space. Like I say, it is AI, so it is trained to understand indoor space and dimensions that way. But it's been known to be done. I've scanned outside as well, and it worked absolutely fine. I did that in California in the summer as well, so it was quite sunny. So it just doesn't pick up the difference between sun and shade so well, but it does work. And even still, if it doesn't work as far as the AR and the augmented reality space, what it can do is we can still capture that video space or that video of the space, and we can work from that, because every floor plan is always checked by our production team before it gets sent back to you. Okay. So three things, the major things that I would like you to take away from this today. Hopefully it's more than three, but if it was three things, the first one would be a floor plan is truly helping potential buyers to qualify a home before they visit it and turn it, qualify a house before they visit and turn it into their home. It's something that I personally look at. I'm sure a lot of people within the chat would actually look at this themselves, hope to see a floor plan within a real estate listing when they are looking to purchase a property. So it's adding huge value. Further to that, it's actually qualifying people before before people visit that home. So people have already seen the layout and the pictures and the video and the trail at home. So once they've seen that floor plan, they have qualified the space to be a potential living space for them. They've seen the home, they've seen the flow, and they now want to visit it to take it to the next stage, to the next step. So they're a qualified lead. So that's really going to help your agent by providing even more qualified leads, or more qualified leads, should I say, visiting potential open homes or organizing a visit. There's a huge potential to increase your company's revenue by selling a floor plan. Like we say, if you are doing, 10 to 30 properties within a month, if you are able to convert, most of those towards a floor plan buyer, then what you can do is you can increase your revenue by over $2,000, which is, as you all know, it's so simple to do. It's such an easy thing to do. All you need to do is just simply add it on or simply sell it towards your clients. The market response to floor plans show huge growth. Floor plans are now in demand, and we have the quickest and easiest tool to acquire a floor plan. So these are the biggest things. We really do see that it's really helping potential buyers. It's really increasing your company's revenue, and it's, floor plans are really in demand. Our graphs show that there's just a huge spike between, previous months. And it's not because we've been pushing out lots of marketing or anything like that, because typically we don't. Word of mouth is our biggest friend. So it comes from photographers speaking to one another, or it becomes something where they've seen something be done, or they've perhaps seen something on forums or wherever it may be. That's helping us grow even more, as well as people, wanting to add a nice floor plan onto their listings. So if you do have any more questions here, we do have some links that are available. You can print screen this, you can take a picture with your phone, or you can just email us if you do have any further questions. But there will be a question and answer session very shortly that we can go through. I want to share this as well. So this here that was just shared, we are looking for a community lead. So if you are interested, what we're looking for is somebody that literally lives and breathes real estate photography. And what we want is an Apple brand ambassador who works to build things like social media and a community presence. So this is definitely an open position that we are really looking for, and it's a big important thing to us. And we would love to have somebody on our team that's going to help us grow our community, that would be able to help answer further more questions, be able to present more awareness, and really help further within our company. And it's quite important to us, or it's very important for us as a company, to be able to have these kind of brand ambassadors and people there that have been within the industry and understand the issues that may be there, or the fantastic things that may be there, and be able to help along the way with that. So that's one position that we would be really interested to go forward with that. So as far as the questions, this is a perfect time for everybody to ask as many questions as you like. Hopefully we can, and hopefully we can answer all of them. As far as dates, I do not have a massive list of dates. However, I can get those. Okay, so I'll just run through this. So Andy says, to square footage to David, I'm delivering the dimensions versions of the floor plans, and if pushed, I'll just pound in the room dimensions into a little spreadsheet calculator. It takes a few minutes, and of course, it doesn't map to MLS square feet, but I hope the calculation is automated by CubiCasa. That's correct. Do we offer 3D floor plans, John? Unfortunately, we do not. We do not offer that. There is some companies out there that you can forward your floor plan to that would be able to convert it to 3D for you. Okay. Andre says, is there an option to export plans to DWG or DXF? So we do provide SVG, and there is multiple different websites that are able to convert SVG to DWG free of charge. So you can do that if you do want to upload it to any kind of CAD software. Typically, SVG is used for um, something. Typically, SVG is used in things like Illustrator. Andy says, did you say you had a survey about prices and photographers charging in the US? Or was that, sorry, say again, or was that the $60 to $99 range used in your chart? So yes, the surveys were based in the United States. Like I say, from coast to coast, they do vary. But what we see as far as an average price that is sold towards your customer, being the realtor, would be between $60 and $99. So there is quite a varied range, and it is quite broad, but that is as far as our research goes. Steve says, in my market in South Florida, we regularly photograph homes and shoot video. What we don't see is a demand for floor plans. How can I change the minds of the agents? Any advice? So for me, Florida, I understand Florida quite well. And especially if, even in Miami, there has been a large record of floor plans during the building plans. So typically some agents will just go to a building society, or I can't remember the correct American terminology for this, or I think they maybe even go to the town hall for this. If I could be correct, I could be completely wrong. But as far as an agent, trying to convince an agent, I can provide you with the facts and the information regarding numbers, like what's within this webinar, but it's not necessarily the agent that needs it. It's the customer that the agent is dealing with that needs this floor plan, especially during COVID. Like at the moment, people are really shopping at homes online. They're not visiting open homes. They are not doing that so much. So being able to see the whole flow, the layout of the property is like next to none. Like it's so important for buyers. Florida is changing slightly, but like I say, it's going to be something where you're providing more factual information, how it can help them sell homes faster, how it can bring in really qualified leads that have already checked the home the fantastic work that you do with your photos and videos, but a floor plan's really going to add on to that, really add on to that. Is there a facility to use the app for test or training purposes? Obviously, you don't want to get to let unlimited use for free, but there may be times for tests or for training purposes or practice to create a floor plan of a building for marketing, and such process could be costly with no actual revenue return at the time. Yes, by all means, if there is something that you would like to test, please do email us. You can email me. My email is as such. I will type this in the chat if anybody does want to have this. Just 2 moments and I can get that. So especially for training, and if you do want to run tests, if you have a huge building or something completely wacky, by all means, just let me know, send me an email, and it's something that we can work towards. So you could package it all up in a single presentation. Yes, I will be forwarding, or we will be allowing this information to be shared, as far as being able to provide all of this information. I will create a simple PDF document, which will just be sent out to you if you would like. So I also have some quick questions, if it wouldn't mind troubling you all. I do have a poll that I would like to understand a little bit more, and I would like to understand if the market is in decline. So I'm just going to launch this poll now. So if you do see this, it would be fantastic if you did let me know. What, especially with the COVID situation, we're trying to understand the market, and of course, markets are going to vary from coast to coast. So we were typically, you would now see the market starting to come into a small decline coming towards the Christmas season. But what we're seeing with our numbers is that it is a little bit, but on the whole, it's kind of just staying, at a steady pace. Yeah, more number of listings is the thing that I'm more thinking about. So, is your amount of work reducing? Are you seeing less listings being published, or can we give any sneak peeks of any future updates? I do not have any sneak peeks to show with you, but one of the biggest one is the total square footage, which we will look to add in. Is something like sneak peeks of future listings, of future updates, something that you would be interested in having? On the whole, to everybody, is that something that you would love to see? So we can kind of give you teasers of what's going to come. Sneak peeks will be great. John says I would poll again after the election. Maybe so. Maybe so. Homes are selling from 1 to 2 days in my market, listing consistent and never enough inventory. Peter, where are you based? What market would that? What market would that be? Yeah, I will definitely be creating copies for this presentation for you and in a PDF form so you can quickly download. Furthermore, there will be more facts, figures, and information being able to be presented to you. And that also helps with Kent's question of, can we provide marketing materials to help promote floor plans? I would absolutely love to do that. If I can help you sell more and provide more floor plans, that's easily the best part of my job, because it helps everyone in the long run. Jonathan says the market is still going strong here, but inventory is low. Homes are selling before photos can be even taken at times. My last three went UC in less than 12 hours. Fantastic. Peter's in Charlotte. Okay. Same in Boston, same in Denver. Inventory is low as well here in Florida. Same here in Canada, Ottawa, Canada. Not enough listings, too many buyers. Our market in Roanoke, selling homes between 3 to 10 days. Here in Victoria, Canada, the market is up 15% over the same period last year. Homes typically sell within a month at the most. Inventory is low here in North Florida too. Homes in California selling between 1 to 3 days. I love California. I wish I could buy a home in California. I was in California for 3 months last year. I didn't want to leave when I had to come back. I stayed my maximum allowance under my visa. I didn't want to leave. Are you staffing up with your volume to keep your fixed request turnarounds low? Yes. I don't know if everybody's noticed, but we are seeing a massive drop or massive, what's the correct term or not? We're seeing a huge reduction in turnaround times. So typically people were receiving floor plans next business day, but we see, the turnaround time is dramatically decreased. So we're seeing on average, most of our floor plans now are actually returning below 14 hours. And yes, as far as staffing up with volume, yes, we have done that. Yes. So we still have lots more room to fill if needed. So we did have, I'm sure many people were aware, we did have one hiccup where we didn't meet the best time. So if you were reaching that 24-hour time period, so we've made huge changes to allow that hopefully to never happen again. Benjamin says Orlando market is strong. Houses are getting offers in a matter of days in central New York, not New York City. Inventory is low. If the floor plan is captured correctly, what is the margin of error? So let me go over that with you. So what I'll do is, let me just go to my quick notes here. So I do have my notes here with you. So as far as accuracy, so accuracies our floor plan requests are about 92%. Fantastic. So accuracy. So I do want to shed some light on the accuracy of our app. Across the studies that we have done and carried out, most measurements are within 0 to 5% from the ground truth. So measured tape or laser measure. So these studies cover thousands of measured in different conditions. So different scanning styles, different phones, thousands upon thousands of different conditions. The accuracy of the mobile scanning depends on several factors, such as scanning technique, environment, textures, furniture, lightness, and the device. So there is a lot of things there that could cause a variance. Our measurements are usually shorter than the actual measurements. Needless to say, our team and engineers are, continuously implementing new improvements to algorithms, which is quite a hard task. We do have a fantastic team of developers and engineers that, multiple PhD, multiple master's degree, computer scientists, data protection engineers, really fantastic team. And we've learned that the best results come through training, and our customer support team they do regularly reach out to our users to help provide tips on how to improve scanning technique. And if you do see a big variance or something that you believe is wrong, just please do send us an email. Reach out to us on chat. What we can do is we can review the information that you have collected with the device across multiple data sets. And if there is something that we can maybe help you improve on or shed some light on the situation, would definitely love to do that. So as far as the accuracy, we do see from 0 to 5% from the ground truth across multiple different testing bases, should we say. In San Francisco area, there seems to be a disconnect in the price between the buyers and sellers. So some listings are taking longer. Sellers want to keep record high prices, and buyers think prices should have dropped. I understand that situation. David said, good question, Steve. However, my competitor simply provided a disclaimer about square footage and may be different. Then the buyer should verify if it's crucial. And if you did want to do something as far as editing, I will run through one thing for you. Hopefully I can share my screen with you in a second. So as far as editing dimensions, I can run through that with you now. So if you do want to get, if you did want to use a laser and make some changes, you can go ahead and do that. And I will share my screen with you in order to show you that. Just, I believe it may help. So as you can see, it's almost identical to the one of yours. However, mine has lots of do not draw or do not scan. So I'm just going to jump into a floor plan here. So let's look at this one, Vallejo, California. So as you know, this is your page. So it will show the map of where you did the scan, a brief preview, and a fix request. So if you did want to make some changes, by all means, you can submit a fix request here and we'll be more than happy to help you. If it is something that you do wish to do yourself, what I can do is I can go back. Okay.
Sam, you haven't switched. Oh, there we go.
I didn't share it.
Eating
Sorry
my words.
about that. Yeah.
I'll shut up now.
So, okay, this here, as I said before, is your screen. So this is what you would see when you would click on one of your jobs or your scans. It will show the map. It will show everything here. The fix request tool can be clicked on here, and you can share more information. However, you can also use this. I will say, don't use it without a mouse. So don't use it with a trackpad on a MacBook or a laptop, because it's not the friendliest. But we are working on being able to provide even more. So from here, you will see your multiple floors. You can, remove dimensions by clicking on the dimension, and I'll click on the right one. Click on the floor, should I say? And if you do want to remove dimensions, perhaps if you don't want dimensions in the hall or the bathroom, just simply tick those away. If you do want to add those in after you've removed them, just once again, toggle it, and you can add that in. Now, when it comes to making dimensions, if you did want to adjust the dimensions, what you can do is you can basically click on this area here. Not that. You can click on this area when it allows me to do so. And you can, like I say, not the easiest to use. What you can do is you can drag this arrow that would be able to change that. But like I say, if this bathroom is, a few inches longer, what it will do is it will change this. Once I press enter, you will actually see an arrow on the outside of the floor plan, which does not look great. However, if you have taken dimensions that are more accurate or perhaps fill that void that may be a mistake, what I can recommend is doing something like this. So clicking on the dimension tab and toggling away those dimensions, clicking on the plus tab and clicking on the text box. What you can do is you can add in that, and you can, although this is going to be not correct, should I say, let's just say it's 10 by 12. What you can do is you can basically add that in and maneuver that wherever you would like it to go. Press enter or click away. And what you can do is you can add that information in. It would be in the same font, the same size, the same everything you need to do. So you don't necessarily need to drag it into another software to be able to make those changes. You could just create that as simple as you would like it. So that's one thing that you can do. Once you've done that, all you have to do is click on this little finish tab here, which would enable you to save that. It will ask you if you would like to save that model. And in a few seconds, what it will do is it will show you that it's saving, and then it will tell you that it will pop you an email as soon as it's ready. And it's not something that our fix request team would be able to see or do themselves. It's automatically saving that model, and it will take a few minutes to render your new floor plan, and it will be ready for download again. If you did want to change something else, what you can do is you can triple click. It's not double, it is a triple in some cases. It may just be my mouse. But if you did want to make changes to the room labels yourself, you can also do that in app as well. So you can change it to hall or hallway, or you can simply remove this. You can type whatever it is you like. Or what you can do is you can triple click again, delete that there, and you would have a humongous list of different types of rooms, whatever it may be. There is outdoor spaces here. There's lots of different things that you can add in. You can add text boxes wherever you like as well. Once you've done that, once again, just press enter and you can simply save and render that. Steve says, Sam, in your experience, do you feel the dimensions in each room is popular, or do you simply, or is simply naming the rooms good enough? Typically, what I would say is a lot of people do like to see the dimensions. However, there is some people that do not like to see dimensions. So you wouldn't, I personally wouldn't need to know how long the walls are. However, if there is perhaps somebody with a disability and is perhaps wheelchair bound, that may be important to them. So, what I would say is it would always be best to add that in so that everybody can see it. And even if they don't need it, it's there. If they do need it and it's not there, then it would become potentially an issue. Okay. Andy says, I'm not sure if I understand the utility of the home report. How do people use those? Typically, not many people do actually use that information as far as, it does show how many doors, windows, bathrooms, different rooms. Soon we will be making changes to that, hopefully, where we'll be able to collect some info that we can actually show different types of relevant information there that, potentially type of flooring or condition or type of kitchen layout or other information that we can put in there. If we can put lots of different types of data in there, it would become a useful asset. Now, reflecting on pricing, just one more time, I'm just going to launch a quick poll. If you could select an idea of what you think the price per floor plan you sell it is, so you sell for, that would be fantastic. And then I can share that results across the board so people can see what prices people are selling floor plans for. And hopefully you can see the shared info. So within polls, if you do get the moment to share, if you feel like you would like to, it would be valued information for me in the future and potentially for others in the room. Okay, I will end the poll in a minute. Does anyone else have any further questions? Anything they would really like to know or anything that they feel would help them? Also, Craig Mason, I think you're still here. If you are not, I can still answer this question. Craig says, about color plans, can us regular users send some samples of what we'd like to see and use? Yes, if you have some examples of floor plans that you would like to see or some features that you would like to add in where it comes to things like colors or floor plan layouts, please do let us know. We can definitely look into that for you. Two quick things. For smaller closets, is there any point opening up those to scan? I would always recommend things like smaller closets. You can open the doors and just show it. You don't need to go inside them, just show that space. However, when we do see the floor plan, what we do is we capture a 3D space, kind of like what Matterport does. We do a full 3D AR or VR style image. And we can actually see the void spaces. So we can see the thickness of the walls. We can see, the different type of area that's there. We can see if there is a void that potentially could be something there. We can see that. And if we do see things like doors or closets, we would make that assumption that it would be a closet there in most cases. Also, is it helpful to show a broad view of each room as part of the scan? So what I would do is I would, walk in line with the walls and I would scan the space and go around the exterior or the outside, the exterior of the room. And then what I would do is I would stop somewhere within the middle of the room or towards the end and be able to show the whole space. It gives us a little bit more of a perception of that space so that we can, have more data to be able to see it. So Angelica says, how does the floor plan feature in iGuide and other competitors compare to CubiCasa? So iGuide, I believe, I'm not too familiar, so I can't comment too much. But I believe iGuide uses a different array of technology. I'm not sure if it spins or I'm not sure how it all works, but they do use Lidar, or Lidar, so it would pick up areas within the room. As far as I'm aware, I think you as the user would need to stitch those together to be able to create that. I do have users that have switched from that provider to ours simply because of cost as well as time of capture. Chris Thompson says, I would love to see an option where CubiCasa would automatically add colors to general types of rooms, or where we could select it from a drop-down menu. Chris, we would love to do that, and we are working on that. What I can do is I can get a better idea of a date for something like that. So you would be able to select that within your design options. So especially things like wet rooms or kitchens or utility rooms perhaps may want to be a different color. So that's definitely something that we can work on. It is something that we can do. We do have that selection. Once again, it's just simply about launch. Steve says, is it helpful as the video is being recorded that the photographer talks on the video and mentions the rooms that they are in? So Steve, we do not actually at the moment access any kind of audio data. That is something, once again, we are looking into. We have just updated the application as far as GPS, and that's one of the next things that we would like to ask our photographers on the whole to see if they would like to be able to add that in. Yeah, so if you are speaking to us within the video, we can't hear you. But we are aware that some people do that, and we do appreciate it when somebody perhaps goes into a mirror and pulls a face or makes a joke or whatever it may be. It's always a fun laugh when we are checking on the floor plan results. Diane says, can we stop and start the video, or does it need to be continuous? Diane, it does need to be a continuous video, and that's due to the tracking of the device. So we track multiple different data points, and we track all of that information. One of the things is your movement and the device height. So if you were to perhaps stop and put the phone down and start somewhere else, we would actually lose that tracking or that data from the tracking. So we would need it to be a continuous scan from start to finish. What time does the presentation end? So it will be ending anytime now. After this question answer session, it would be ending. So you are free to leave, and if you do have more questions, you're more than welcome to stay. But there may be some question that gets answered, asked and answered that you may wish to know. So I'm just about to share the results as part of the survey. So hopefully, I believe you can see that now. So there was a tie between $50 and $70. Then some people selling beyond $80. So that's very, helpful information for me. And, we can adjust things where we need to. Okay. Does anybody else have any further questions that we can hopefully answer? Andy says, in my market, the laser guys and CAD systems are charging $150. Yeah, they do. You could do the same and do it in 5 minutes. Very, very much easy. Very easy to do, Andy. It's something. It's just so easy to do. You could go to Home Depot, and Home Depot can come out and do it for like $110 plus, based on square footage. But this is something that you can provide as well. Somebody is willing to pay somebody $150 for a floor plan, which is exactly what they're doing. So you can do the exact same thing, provide a fantastic looking floor plan, that's consistent with, you know, leading providers of floor plan style scans, you know, and you can do that. You could even come in and lowball the price if you wanted to. And that's why I'm not charging $60. There's money on the table. Exactly. You know, you can go ahead and charge as, you know, as close to that as you like and provide a fantastic looking floor plan. John says, great job on your first webinar. Thank you. I do hope people learnt something today. Hopefully there was at least one useful thing. So going back to the broad view, after the bedroom is scanned, for example, I can then tilt the camera up and simply shoot a 360 of the whole room and then tilt it back down and continue. Yes, Steve, you can do that. In some cases it would, or most cases it would be appreciated, yes. Especially for window placements, that's quite key. And he says, CubiCasa is magic, love it, great update tonight. Please do more in the future sometime. Is this something that you would like to see, regular updates on potential, well, updates and features? Is this something that you would like to see more of? If I can get more facts information? Because it helps me as well, you know, being able to learn from my customers is really key. I'm sure for Jordan as well, as Jordan's within the same department as me, or same team, should we say? It's always helpful.
Yeah, we can't do this without you guys.
And like we're saying, so
Your feedback is key.
Yeah, it is really key. We are looking for a community lead role. So if you are also interested in doing that and helping us with this, you know, we would be really interested to hear from you. What we also have is, I would like to share one thing in the chat. If you are a user of Facebook, we do now have another Facebook group, which is our official Facebook, which we will be sharing more information with and trying to build an official community there. Let me just see if I can get an invite link to this. I think this will work. I hope. Yeah, so that's our official Facebook group. Please do join it. We are hoping to, you know, have lots of people ask and answer questions there and build up a little community. We will be releasing further updates on this. It's not going to be packed with any kind of marketing stuff, you know, none of that. It will just be helpful information that's needed for you. So it's intended to ask questions and get those answers to the community. I can share the screen for you. I think you can see my screen. If not, I will share a new video for a new screen for you. So, okay, hopefully you can see my screen here. So it is called CubiCasa User Group Official. I'd love to see you join that and go from there. We would also like to see more how-tos for difficult spaces. Could you tell me more about these difficult spaces? What would you consider a difficult space? Maybe I could help you now. Providing tools of marketing material we could send to real estate agents on a floor plan would benefit them more, would be useful. Okay, so if I was to create some kind of marketing stack for you that would be readily, like a media download straight from the website, would that be beneficial for you? If I was to add that in, so it would have, for instance, facts about floor plans, how it's affecting the market, how it helps, examples of floor plans, you know, all different types of quirky floor plans or whatever you may think, extravagant homes, simple homes. If I put that in there for you to download, would that be helpful? Is something, one of the blockers potentially adding this to your website or, you know, as an offering? Okay, then I will definitely get that done. I will work with the marketing team this week to provide I'll work with the marketing as well as the web development team so that we can get this put on the website, and I'll get that started this week. I'm a Zillow certified photographer, and they send helpful marketing information. Well, that's fantastic. I'll get this done for you. Absolutely. Rooms with overflowing furniture, basements filled with crap, cannot see the floor and the walls, for instance. Now, it does come an issue where we can't see the floor and the wall. That is an issue. When it comes to those kind of difficult spaces, it does get difficult, and there's no easy way to say that the app does not pick up some things like that. Things like overflowing furniture just scan like it's kind of not there. Just try and get as much of the wall, of the floor as you can, and if you could try and perhaps get all of the corners at some lengths, it would help us with the scan. And once again, doing a whole overview of the whole space would help us with that. Materials we could use in marketing campaigns, especially in the slow winter season. Their marketing material really help us. Would you be able to send me an example of that information to my email address? I'll type it in the chat again. Just forward me one of those emails if it's allowed. If you are able to forward this information, I'd see how that's set up so I can get something somewhat similar to you. That would be fantastic. Steve, by all means, if you want me to check your skills, go ahead and scan. Just pop me an email with the with your username, your sign in, and the address of the property, and I can go ahead and check the data that we collect and see what I can help you improve on. Definitely. Once you've done that scan, just pop me an email. Let me know you've got it done. Send me the address, and we'll go ahead and help you. And if anybody else would like that to happen as well, by all means, just let me know. Just do the scan and let me know. Okay. Okay, does anyone else have any more questions? Okay. So we can go ahead and end the meeting now, or the webinar. If anyone does have any questions, please do send us or me an email. I'll be more than happy to help. Get to know you all a little bit more. Please do join the group as well. I will be active within the Facebook group as much as I can. I am on a different part of the world. I am in Finland, so there is sometimes a bit of a time difference. But if you need me as well, send me an email. My phone number will be there as well. You can always give me a call, send me a text, and I'll answer it as soon as I can. We do have a help chat as well as a help email where we can go ahead and get to you. Okay. No, thank you. Thank you for being in attendance. And I do hope that you learned something today, and hopefully we can improve your scans. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Chris, just to confirm, I do have your email. Okay. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. Thank you very much on behalf of myself and CubiCasa for joining this webinar today. Like I say, I hope you did learn something. If you would like to learn anything else in the future, please, feel free to pop us an email, pop me an email. I'm here, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with as much information as we can. I will, as summary, get that email, the download, sorry, for the marketing readily available as well. So much appreciated. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, guys. Appreciate it.